Thanks for joining us here on this Monday. Meteorologist Chris Bianchi with a detailed look at your Colorado forecast right here from the 9 News Weather Center. All right, start things out by taking a look at Denver. Hey, look at that. You can see the mountains in the background. It is looking a lot better today and tomorrow in terms of our air quality. I know, been waiting a while to say that. Should be generally pretty okay this week, even though it will heat on up. We will get some of that ground ozone, but the wildfire smoke should mostly stay north of us this week. We'll have to watch for that. That can be a little bit variable, that wildfire smoke forecast. But again, the air quality won't be so much of a concern this week. I know a lot of you are happy to hear that. I'm certainly, as a big runner, happy to say that myself. Meantime, we do have some storms around both today and tomorrow. If you're watching us from the Denver Front Range, kind of the urban corridor, I think tomorrow we'll have a better chance than today for some of those storms. We will cool down significantly for tomorrow. Again, probably music to some of your ears. That pumpkin spice, whatever, will probably taste a little bit better tomorrow, as it'll actually feel a bit more fall-like. But then, yeah, we go right back to summer on Wednesday, and it'll last through the remainder of the week. We do have some hints, though, that early next week could get another sharp cool down. But for today, again, the big story for most of us will be the chance for some storms. Some of those could turn severe, especially north and east of Denver. We do have a level 1 risk on a 0 to 5 scale in terms of that possibility for severe storms. Main risk would be damaging winds and some large hail. Now, we did have some showers and a few rumbles of thunder up by Larimer and Jackson counties earlier on this morning. That has since dissipated, moved its way on up into Wyoming and Nebraska. That same little system moving its way on through will trigger a few of those stronger showers and storms later on today. Our model here is not that bullish on those shower and storm chances, but again, we will have some around. Again, I would say the main emphasis would be on up into Weld, Larimer, and probably Morgan and Morgan counties. I think those would be the main areas for initiation in the far eastern plains as we get later on through the evening time frame. Could still see 1 or 2 storms after dark and through the overnight time frame. Not something we necessarily say every day, but we will have some storms around after dark, especially north of I-76 and also kind of east of, we'll call it kind of Greeley and maybe Deer Trail on east. We'll have the better chance for seeing some of those after dark storms. Now, this model is not that particularly bullish on seeing some of those storms around the Denver area. Do have the chance, though. Don't want to rule out a storm for us in Denver this afternoon, this evening. Best chance, though, will be a little later than what we're accustomed to. Probably looking kind of 5, 6 o'clock on for a storm for us in around the Denver area this afternoon and this evening. But again, certainly the north side of the metro area will have a better chance. You get up into Weld, Boulder, and Larimer counties. That's where we're going to have a better chance for a storm this evening. And again, you have some of those storms potentially around from 9, 10 o'clock on. So just keep that in mind. Don't be surprised to get some of those shadow storms overnight. You hear a clap of thunder tonight. Yeah, that is not somebody you don't want knocking on your door. That is going to be good old Mother Nature, perhaps giving us a little bit in the way of some stormy activity. We did have a weak cold front drop on through just a few hours ago in Denver. That's why we're stuck in the mid-70s right now. Also some cloud cover around keeping us in the mid-70s. Probably feels pretty nice with the little breeze out there, southeastern Colorado, where that front has not moved through on yet. 85 in Colorado Springs and about 90 in Pueblo. Will be warming on up into the mid-90s in Pueblo. Denver, our forecast high is 85. I'm going to tell you this, I'm not sure we get there with those temperatures still stuck in the mid-70s at this hour. We may do well just to get on up to 80 degrees at this point. We do get close to 100 degrees in the southeastern corner of the state, where that front, again, will take its sweet old time getting its way on through. Denver, so far this year, at 56 days at 90 or above. We will add to that number later on this week. I'll have more on that here in just a second. But those temperatures for today, we will stay south of 90 degrees. Now, in terms of those drought conditions, the worst of it is in the western part of the state. But the one concern that we've got is we're starting to see some of those growing areas of drought in eastern Colorado. That does include Denver, which was just added to the abnormally dry chart just this past week. The far eastern plains starting to see some moderate drought work its way on through. We could use some of that rainfall, and really the best chance for rain is going to be today and tomorrow. Then the rest of the week we are going to stay bone dry really across the state. So again, our best chances for rain will be over the course of the next kind of 24 to 36 hours. Tonight we do have some storms around. Again, tonight we will have some storms around. Best chance will be well north of Denver, 57 degrees for a low in Denver tomorrow, 77 degrees. We're going to have a fair bit of cloud cover, maybe some patchy sunshine during the morning hours, and then we'll see those clouds work their way on through 10, 11 o'clock or so, and then we'll see those storms a little bit earlier for your day tomorrow with a high, again, 77 in Denver, a cooler day than what we've seen over the last little while. Again, those storms pop on up a little bit earlier today. We will have some severe storms for us in the southeastern Colorado. It looks like at this point it's the southeastern part of the state, east of 25, south of 70. We're going to have the best chance at some of that severe weather for your day tomorrow. But Denver, better chance for storms today, I should say tomorrow than today. So if we stay dry in Denver today, we'll probably have a better chance at seeing a storm tomorrow. Then by tomorrow night, those storms move on out of here. That'll allow a ridge of high pressure to build on in, and that will keep us dry and on the warm side for the remainder of the week. We do have a marginal risk for severe storms for your day tomorrow. That is a level 1 risk on a 0 to 5 scale, and that is mainly for damaging winds and some large hail. And also, can't rule out an isolated tornado or two in southeastern Colorado as well. Forecast highs for tomorrow, as mentioned, we're on the cooler side. A lot of 70s for us, 80s in the southeastern part of the state. Look at those highs for your day tomorrow. Finally feeling a bit more spring, I should say fall-like, with a high of 69 Evergreen, 73 Pine Junction, 75 Castle Rock, and 77 in Denver, 79 Brighton, and 79 Platteville. So most of us should be on the cool side for your day tomorrow, but if you are looking forward to that fall weather, well, take a look at that 7-day forecast. We go right back up into the upper 80s, low 90s. By the way, we're normally this time of year, our average high is about 81, 82. So for us to be upper 80s, low 90s this time of year, this is very late in the season for us to be this warm. And we will be well above average for the remainder of the week and through the weekend. And by early next week, we'll cool back down. Some of the models trying to bring those temperatures down in the 60s for a high by next Tuesday. We'll see if that comes about. But there are some potentially cooler days ahead, but it won't be this weekend with highs around the upper 80s and low 90s through this upcoming weekend. So there's a look at that detailed Colorado forecast for you. Hopefully it gives you a pretty good indication. I'm going to take about what we've got coming on up. I'm going to take a quick look at any comments or questions that you might have here on Facebook. It does look like we will be looking at some, yes, windy conditions on the eastern plains. Lynn, that is in association with our cold front that is swinging its way on through. That's why it's a little bit windier today. Tomorrow could have some winds out there as well. And we'll be also looking at some better conditions in terms of those winds by the time we get into your Wednesday. We should see those kind of dissipate on down, but we'll just warm back up again. That looks like that'll do it in terms of those comments and those questions. So again, thanks for joining us here on Facebook Live and on 9 News Watch for a look at that detailed Colorado weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and have a great rest of your day.